von dem Scheiß, ich will mehr.
Hello pilots! On my Discord server, some pilots have joined forces to take part in the Chicanetula challenge. The aim is to play a round of escalation only with chicanes and tarantulas. In our first, quite spontaneous attempt, we tackled it on the side of the BDF. After a short briefing, everyone had an idea in their heads how we should proceed. And what can I say, the plan worked out, which is also due to the flying skills of the individual pilots. Baron Quartier has already published a video about it, which shows very well how much fun we had. The link to the video can be found in the video description. After it has worked on the BDF side, the next step is the same challenge on the Pala side. I didn't want to fly blindly into the event and practiced a few starts. In this video I would like to show a sortie which turned out quite well, and I wonder what else could have been achieved with 1 or 2 wingmen. Have fun with the video! On my approach to the north, I would like to destroy the enemy anti-air units and neutralize radar installations. Everything on top of that is a bonus. In the meantime, I fly with AGM-48s and ATP-1s as well as IRM-S1s. Especially at the beginning of a mission, not many radar-guided missiles are to be expected, which is why I do without the ECM jammer. Pin missiles require laser connections. As much as I like the linchpins, they take away a decisive advantage from me, taking cover behind the grounds. On my first approach to the SAM position, I make sure to stay outside its 5 km range and then use the cliffs as cover. Only when I'm really close to the target do I fire it. This shortens the opponent's available reaction time and increases my chance of hitting. I avoid incoming radar-guided missiles by using the terrain as cover and thus breaking the line of sight, or by flying so close to the ground that the radar locator cannot distinguish between the ground and me. The chicane hasn't noticed me yet and flies purposefully towards our ground troops. As I approach the chicane, I remember a SAM unit that could cause me problems. At the current distance, I prefer to shoot 2 missiles at the target. I swing straight back to the chicane and switch to the ATP-1s. At short distance, they should be able to hit the slow chicane. I recognize 2 more enemy chicanes on the minimap. In the long run, I had no choice but to fight them, so I wanted to get it over with sooner rather than later. My first target came from Maris Port. A fatal evasive maneuver put the enemy in a perfect position for my ATP-1 to be fired. Total also happily held onto it and I was able to fend off the incoming IRM-S1 with flares. The other chicane thought an IRM-S1 would be enough to take me out of the game, but I was able to gallantly fend it off with flares and get close to the chicane. I fired an ATP-1, which the enemy skillfully avoided. It was important to me that the enemy was hunted down in any case. At this short distance he doesn't have much time to use flares, so I fired 2 IRM-S1s at the enemy, which tore it apart. Before I could get closer to the enemy base, a SAM position had to be eliminated. On the minimap I recognized a Tarantula that seemed to cross my path. I focused on the SAM position and fired 2 AGM-48s at it. Total couldn't resist opening fire on the Tarantula. I wanted to take out 4 more tanks, but a friendly unit beat me to it. Too bad about the waste. I still had enough ammunition on board to cause further damage to the enemy. Nearby was a vehicle depot which is protected by an anvil. After I had taken out the anvil, I tried to approach the enemy vehicle depot as low as possible in order to fire at it with a cannon. On the side of the enemy airport facing me, a SAM unit and an aero sentry spec are stationed. I try to get as close as possible to the targets so that I can take them out of action with one missile at a time. Afterwards, I had to neutralize 2 IFV units, whereby I had no time to take care of the vehicles behind me. I took some damage also due to a ground collision, but I managed to destroy both IFVs, which allowed me to wipe out the airfield's supply units. I noticed a SAM position on the other side of the airfield right next to the factories. My ammunition would no longer be enough to destroy buildings, but maybe I could turn off the SAM position for a subsequent annihilation blow.
VRS.
On the way back, a cricket was about to start. Pretty dishonorable, but I don't really care about the AI, because I wanted to shoot the cricket at the start.
VRS.
After I was able to hide from incoming missiles, an ATP-1 was enough to dismantle the cricket, although I was very close to it. Finally, a Medusa wanted to annoy me with its laser. Luckily, I still had 2 IRM S1s left, which I was able to fire at the Medusa after a quick turn. Still pointing the laser at me, it didn't fend off the incoming missiles and broke apart. So far, so good. I made my way back to base. I still had to fend off a few radar-guided missiles by flying low, but otherwise the homecoming was flawless. For my part, I now have a better idea of how to open a round. It's hard to imagine what could have been achieved with several players. I think we will try soon. Maybe the round was interesting for you too. In any case, thank you very much for watching and fly safe.